Morning and welcome to day 3 of the 12 days of Commsmas. Now, so far we have looked at 2 of the overriding principles of having good conversations and making your communication count. And today I want to share with you the one thing that everybody wants when they speak. And today is not a technique video. It's not telling you how to do something. It's getting you to be open to understand the concept behind some of the techniques and tips that I'm going to share with you over the next few days. Because I think it's important to remember and understand why people speak. So if somebody speaks to you, it's not that they haven't got anything else to do. It's not that they're just speaking for the sake of it. Someone will speak to you because they have one desire. It's hardwired into us. Their desire is to be heard and understood by you. That's all they want. When people speak, they just want to be heard and understood. They don't always want to be agreed with. They don't always want to be challenged. They don't always want to be provided with a solution. They don't always want a celebration. All they actually crave, they are hardwired to connect with you. And the connection in communication comes when someone feels heard and understood. And this is really, really important because in a lot of clients that I work with, people that I come into contact with, who talk to me about relationships that are damaged, frustrations they've got at work, at home, in their relationships or in their parenting, there is often a lot of frustration that the relationship is fragile or it's been put at risk, it's damaged, it's breaking in some way. It is rarely that there's anything more at root than the person who I'm working with doesn't feel heard and understood. They don't need to be agreed with. They don't need to be stroked. They don't need to be challenged. They just need to be heard and understood. And I suppose it's that feeling that you matter to someone and the concept of being heard and understood. You know, if you work on the basis that nobody speaks to you because they're short of things to do, they are trying to connect with you. And the way they will read that connection is if you are prepared to exchange your most precious asset in the moment with them, and that is your time. If you are prepared to just pause and show them in that moment that they are speaking to you, that you are listening and you are hearing what they're saying and you understand what they're saying, you probably don't need to do anything more than that. That little bit of connection, that wow, I am important enough in that person's world that they just stopped for a minute and heard me rant about that. Wow, I must be important to them. There is a connection. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know what I say when I say to you, there will be a connection, there will be an extra marble in the marble jar of that relationship. So apply that principle to the people that speak to you today and see what happens, because it changes so many of your interactions in the moment. It's a really powerful thing to do. So, you know, when you turn up at work and you'd like to crack on with the task at hand, but one of your colleagues wants to have a little chat, yesterday you might have been dismissive of that. You might have been distracted and you wonder why they keep on and they keep on and they don't stop talking. It's because they are seeking the connection with you. If today they start with their chit chat and you just stop what you're doing, you look at them and you show that you're listening and you show them that you've understood what they've said, 2 things happen. I guarantee that conversation will last a shorter amount of time because you've given them what they wanted, they felt heard, they felt understood, you've connected with them, and also that relationship will be stronger. And why wouldn't you want that? The next time your husband, your wife starts to rant about something, you know as well as I do, a lot of the time it can appear like white noise. And they become frustrated that, that we just don't understand, we don't care. You know, you don't matter, or they don't matter to you. It's not because you think they're right or they're wrong. It's that you didn't make them feel heard. So if you just pause and just turn your attention to what they're saying, You don't need to fix it. You don't need to solve it. You don't need to challenge it. You don't need to agree with it. And I think that is hugely important. So many people, they fight for to be agreed with. They believe that connection requires them to both agree on the same thing. It doesn't. Connection occurs when someone feels heard and understood. And you can vehemently disagree with somebody's opinion. You can really challenge what they're thinking. And that's okay. And you'll be able to do that if they feel heard and understood. So the next time your husband, your wife is having a rant, pause, breathe, make them feel heard and understood, and see what happens. You know, that endless questioning of your child, why do they keep on with the same question or a million questions? It's because quite often you're distracted. You're not connecting with them. If you just paused in the moment that they asked the first ridiculous question, you looked them in the eye, you answered them, you made them feel in the moment heard and understood, the relationship is stronger, and the desire to keep going, to get your attention a different way, it's satisfied. You gave them your attention. They feel heard and understood. They don't need to be disruptive. They don't need to show you behaviour that gets your attention because you aren't paying attention to their speech. And, you know, that worry of a friend, it might be that same friend worrying about that same problem again and again and again. And it would be really easy to be distracted or to interrupt them or to change the subject or not return that call. But what would happen to the strength of your relationship and the connection between you if in that moment you realised they are only saying that to you again because they are trying to connect, they're trying to satisfy the need in them to be heard and understood. So today I challenge you to manage the frustrations and to seek a deeper connection with everybody that speaks to you. And also you'll see what happens when you allow people to be heard and understood. They will naturally reciprocate. They love the way it feels. You don't have to solve their problem. You don't have to have a solution. You don't have to agree. You don't have to join on their mission, you know, to do whatever it is they're talking to you about. You just need to hear them and understand them. And over the next few days, I'll share with you some techniques that allow you to do that. But today, I would love for you, if you want your communication to be better over Christmas, then just understand that the next person and the next person and the next person that speaks to you has one innate, hardwired goal at the heart of the reason that they opened their mouth and spoke to you. And that is because whatever it is they want to say to you, they need you to hear it. They want you to understand it because they want to connect. So that is what people want on the deepest level when they communicate with each other. Enjoy trying it today. See what happens. Let me know. I'll be back here tomorrow to share a technique that you can use in conversation to really help someone feel heard and understood by you. In the meantime, see how you get on with that today. Okay, Merry Christmas. Bye for now.